Daddy, I'm grateful. Daddy, I'm grateful. I did throw a salute. Eba mi rababa, 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 eba mi rababa. All you done for me, I cannot tell it all. Your mercies and your grace favor everywhere I go. Before I call on you, you are there to answer me. Your love for me is real. You've done what no one else can do.
Olayemi. For me, I think that Olayemi is a very simple person. Life is very easy with me. I'm easygoing. Yeah, I can be very serious sometimes, but I think that I accept everything that comes to me. I'm not that kind of person that wants the most expensive things in life. I just like being simple, and that's who I think I am.
I think that's a great trait to have.
Yeah. All right. So my childhood was a very interesting one, and the reason why I've used the word interesting is because I have 4 other siblings that are girls, and then I have one that is a boy. And growing up with my siblings was very, very interesting. It's a really important part of who I am today. We were very, very close, and up till now, we're still very, very close. I think that when one person gets into trouble, or when one person is to be punished for something, everybody takes part in it. Even if you're not the one that is being punished, but you will still, that punishment is something that you will see reflected in every other person. So my dad used to say this growing up, that if one of us was a witch, then every one of us will be witches, and then wizard with some time being a part of us. So growing up in that family, yeah, it was really good. It was something that there were times that sometimes I wish I was from another family, but I think that looking at it overall, I would say that I'm a very lucky person because of the kind of sisters and brother that I grew up with. And also because of the father and mother that I had. My dad was very strict. He was a kind of person that wouldn't even want friends visiting you. It was somebody that, when he comes, before he gets home, the dogs will start barking and we'll know daddy's coming, and we'll all go and hide somewhere or stay somewhere. But I think that helped us be the kind of people that we are today. And for my mom, very simple woman. I've seen my mom punish us a few times, and when she does that, you are in trouble. So yeah, it was really good growing up with my siblings. I had my grandmothers, my grandfathers, live with us at different times. I had lots of aunties and lots of uncles living with us. So I grew up in that very large extended family, yeah, it was very good. It was very good, yeah. My God, I really loved growing up with my twin sister because a lot of people didn't know that we were twins. We're not identical, but people could tell that we're siblings. I was taller than her, and I'm still taller than her. She's quite short, but Olamide, my twin, she's a very strong person, and stronger than I am. So we used to get into these fights that anytime we get into the fights, she will always win. But I like one thing my mom used to do. My mom will make sure that when she gets home and I tell her, oh, Mommy Olamide did this to me today, my mom will hold her down, and then my mom will say, yeah, you do that to her now. So she never won, because yeah, I know she would think that she was always the winner, but mom would always find a way to make sure that I got my way also. I also really liked the aspect where my twin sister, Olamide, will always fight for me. You know, I was this very quiet person growing up, and if anybody dares, you know, bully me or do anything, I can be sure that Olamide will be there to fight my battles for me. I remember a time, I think we were in Air Force Secondary School in Nigeria, and you know, I think a boy did something to me, and that morning, I couldn't believe Olamide went and she dealt with the boy. So yeah, she was always there to, you know, cheer me on. She was always there to be the one, I would say in a way, looking for trouble, and always being the one, when she says something, she makes sure she does it. So it was really good growing up with Olamide. And also, I remember there were times that, you know, if I'm sick, a few days after that, she will be sick. And we really liked that growing up because it was cool. There was a time I was in the hospital and she came visiting and she slept on the same bed with me. A few days after that, she was admitted too, you know. So we had this bond that, you know, I said earlier on that all of us were close, all my siblings, but myself and Olamide, we had this really, really close bond that if anything was happening to her somehow, you know, it will happen to me. When we went to high school, we said to them, we've never been separated, we're always together. And I know that someone mentioned in the high school, one of the teachers said that, oh, they're going to separate us. And I think when we were in junior high, we got separated. It was very painful, but you know, it helped us to identify ourselves. So yeah, I really enjoy having a twin. We used to say that when we grow up, we'll have a school together, you know, and today, Ola is in Nigeria, she's running a school, you know, and we say, oh, our school, the name of the school is going to be London Gate, you know, but the name of the school she's running now is not London Gate, it's Dorinda, but, you know, dreams come true. We said we'll do these things together, and yeah, here we are today, you know, 40 and enjoying life. One, I think the times that I really enjoyed growing up was the times where we'll be outside. So in our house, we had a very big compound. So at times, maybe around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, we'll have a big mat in front of the house. And you know, mommy will tell stories and we'll all be seated together and we'll sing together almost every night, you know, every Friday night, let me say. We'll all be together, we'll be singing together. Mommy will teach us songs, we'll sing together. One other favorite moment in my life, or moments that I've had growing up, is every Saturday morning, leaving, you know, all of us will come out, bring all our laundry out, we'll do the laundry together, we'll do the house chores together, and anytime we're doing it, we sing together, you know, we do so many things together. So I can say that those moments are moments that would never leave me, you know, and it always helps me remember, you know, the way we grew up together. So yeah. I, in particular, you know, I've said I have 5 other siblings, but I think that I had a lot of challenges, you know, and I think that those challenges were not challenges that a lot of people knew about. I think my siblings knew about it. I think my mom knew about it. I'm not even sure if my dad knew some of the challenges that I went through, because I think a few months ago, you know, he was saying to me, he heard me say something and he said, oh, I never knew you were going through that, you know, growing up. So one of the challenges that I would say that I had growing up was when I finished high school, I had to go back to high school to resit my, then we call it WAEC. So I had to go back to resit that exam. So in the midst of that, I also wrote an exam, which is JAM, which it's an exam you have to write to be able to get into university. So I wrote that exam. My twin also wrote it, and she passed, you know, but I didn't pass that exam, you know, and I think I wrote it about 4 times, and I never got up to the cutoff mark for any university to take me in to study. So when I was going back to resit my WAEC, my twin sister was going to uni. And it was a very big, it was something that was very painful to me, that I couldn't, you know, we've been doing things together all our life, you know, but at that time it was as if she was moving forward and I was just remaining where I was. So it was very challenging for me. But I remember that my mom used to say to me, or she'd say, "Oh, you just like pitying yourself so much. Stop. I don't like self-pity. You have to move out of that and live your life. Just know that whatever comes to you in life, you know, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve." It took me a lot of time to come out of that, but I'm glad that I came out of it. I remember that anytime my big sister and my twin were going back to uni, if they came home for holidays and they were going back, it was always a painful time for me. You know, I'll cry and cry and cry, you know. But yeah, I was able to also go to uni, although I didn't go to the same uni they went to. But yeah, you know, I came out of it, and yeah, it's made me a better person today. So I would say growing up, it impacted me a lot. You know, I think that it's not very common here, and so you don't. I think after I finished uni in Nigeria, I got used to it. But I think in my high school days, in my uni days, it was something that was always on my mind. It was always on my mind. And I remember we used to go to, when I was in, I think, almost in my final year of high school, we used to go to a tutoring place. And I remember my twin sister then had a lot of boys that liked her, you know, but I didn't have those boys coming to me and saying, "No, I like you," and all of that. So I used to say to my big sister on those Saturday mornings, I remember, I used to say to my big sister and my twin and any other person around there that I don't think I'll ever get married, you know. I would always say that, "Oh, I don't think anybody will want to get married to, you know, someone that has bow legs." You know, my bow legs were not just, they were really pronounced. So anyone that saw me, you know, would be able to say, "Oh," you know, whether I'm wearing long skirts or, you know, trying to hide it, anyone that saw me will be able to say that, "Oh, there's something, you know, different about her." So it was really hard for me, and I think it affected my self-confidence. You know, I prefer to. I never used to do any sports. You know, I used to wish I could. You know, because my twin sister used to do a lot of sports, but I would just say, "Oh, no, I'm not interested," you know. So it affected me, you know, a lot, especially when, you know, I started thinking, there's no marriage prospects for me. You know, I remember I said that to my cousin one day, and I said it to my sister Bimba. She was like, "Never say that, you know, never say that. You can never, you will find a man that will like you the way you are," you know. So yeah, it was challenging for me. Yeah. All right. I think I always said it, you know, growing up, that if I have the opportunity, I will have, you know, the correction surgery. So I remember that when I finished high school, my mom and my dad took me to a doctor, an orthopedic surgeon in Nigeria. and he was going to do the surgery, and I was happy, and it was going to be a few days before my birthday. But then when they asked my parents to come, my dad to come sign the consent and all of that, and they told Daddy everything, the risk and all of that, he was like, no, I'm not going to lose my daughter, for this surgery. If she's lived her life this way, then I'm not going to let her die. So I couldn't have the surgery then. I was like, okay, if I've always said that I want to live outside Nigeria, and that one day when I have the opportunity, I'll do it. So I met my husband, and my husband was like, oh, if you want to do the surgery, we will do it. So I was like happy, and when we were in Armadale, we saw a doctor, an orthopedic surgeon, and he said, okay, yes, we can do it. And then we left Armadale, we went to Newcastle, and I remember after I had Daniel, we spoke with an orthopedic surgeon. He was an older doctor. And he said, oh, no, we're not going to do the surgery. Is your husband pushing you to do it? And I'm like, no, it's not my husband. I want to do it. So he got some young doctors, and about 5 doctors. And, they had the meeting, and they were like, oh, yeah, we're not going to do the surgery. Because I think he sold, the opinion that, yeah, her husband's pushing her to do it. So we left it. And then we moved to Sydney, and I started seeing someone in Macquarie, with my husband's consent, and I left that for a while. My husband said, why don't we seek another person's opinion? And we looked for a doctor close to my husband's workplace, and he referred us, funny enough, to a doctor very close to where we live, about 10 minutes from where we live. And the doctor was like, yeah, I'm willing to do this, I'm willing. And so, yeah, that's how I had the surgery done. So it's always been on my mind, and for me, I used to go with Daniel, my first son, to soccer when he was little. And I noticed that almost every parent that brought their kids will get up in the, when they get there to play, soccer with the kids. But then I used to just sit down and say to Daniel, oh, Daniel, no, I can't play soccer with you. But in my mind, I was always like, I don't want anyone laughing at me, But I said it then that another thing that would make me do the surgery is so that I can go anywhere with my kids, I can play with them, and live life, to the fullest. So I know that sometimes I forget that I had bow legs, even when I had it. But when people start staring, especially in Australia where you don't find a lot of people with bow legs, So I'm glad I did the surgery, That's one thing that I'm, happy that I've corrected, about myself. So.
Who is your husband?
My husband is Adeniyi. I know that to a lot of people is a lot of things, but I think that to me is my friend, is someone that I can talk to, is someone that although sometimes I talk and it looks like he's not listening, and I'm like, listen to me, but he's my friend, and he's my is that person that can always say that, well, I know you can do this, even when I think that I can't. I remember when I came to Australia and I started nursing, and the first day I went to uni, and I did the science component of nursing, and they started talking about atoms, and molecules and different things. He picked me up on that day, and I said, I would never study nursing, because what's my business without it? And he said, oh, just calm down, why not go tomorrow and see if it will be better, and I think that after that day, You know, I didn't mention again that, you know, nursing is not my thing, I can't do it, you know, and I'm proud that sometimes it pushes me too much, but I'm glad that I have that person in my life that can push me. Remember, I said from the beginning that I'm a very simple person. I'm content with the simplest things in life. But my husband, he doesn't believe that he can't get what he wants, especially when he knows that God is not saying he shouldn't get it. So he will get it, and he pushes me to do things that I think I can't do. And even before I got married to him, I used to say that my husband was one of those people that would encourage me, you know, to remember to talk to God in the mornings. I remember my husband would say to me, if you've not spoken to God in the morning, why have breakfast? And that used to, you know, ring in my head anywhere I am. Don't have breakfast if you've not had your devotion. So spiritually, every area of my life is been, you know, a support to me. And, you know, I really appreciate that about him. Like every marriage, we have our ups and downs, but the interesting thing is that we always pick ourselves up, and you know, we move on. So yeah, that's Adeniyi for you, or to me, that's who he is to me. My boys, Daniel Adeniyi and Ethan Adegoke, they mean everything, you know. They're blessings. I know that my boys will grow up someday to be boys that love God, to be boys that if Jesus tarries, you know, they get married someday, to be boys that will love their wives, to be boys that they're confident, to be boys that can know that whatever they want to achieve in life, they can achieve it. I know that if they want to talk about me, they can say, oh, our mom is so strict, our mom is, you know, she's always screaming, she's always doing that. But, you know, I know that when I'm not there, or when their dad is not there, they would not be scared to face life. They would not be scared to stand up for what is right. You know, so I take pride in the blessings that God has given me, you know, to be mothers to those boys. And I know that, you know, they too will be able to say that our dad, our mom, you know, they did their best to make us people that we are today. You know, and there will be boys that will do their country, they will do God, they will do everyone that, you know, is around them. They will do them proud. And I'm very confident in that. You know, they're boys that will make their nation proud. They're boys that will not be scared to be who God has called them to be. So, yeah, they're all-round boys. Those are my boys. I'll tell my younger self that don't let fear, you know, take over you. You know, the fear that what will I become? What will happen to me? Is this how I'm going to live my life? Don't play things in your head, you know, repeatedly that would not do you any good. So yes, that's what I'll tell my younger self, that your dreams are valid and they come true. I would also tell my younger self to keep loving God, because I think that that's one consistent thing in my life, you know, knowing God and loving Him. is what has brought me here today. So I'll tell my younger self, love God the more, because the more you love Him, the more it looks after you. So yeah, just be content, you know, that at every season of your life, be content with what you have. Don't look at other people and say that, yeah, it's good to admire people, but just be content with every season of your life. And know that those big dreams, those things that you've told God about or that you told Him about when you were younger, He will attend to them. He will attend to them. Be content. Don't want to get things by all means. If God has said that that's not the season yet, wait for your season, and everything, you know, will come together.